Ama just sent me a special package of the Air Jordan 5s from the Black Collective. So let's go ahead and unbox these and go through all the details of the shoe. First thing that you'll notice from this box, it's a little bit different than the previous releases from the past. It's cool because it has a lift-off lid similar to the Air Jordan 4. You know the Jordan 5 actually has the hinge lid with the big Jumpman on it. So again, that's another switch up as well. And if you look very close at the box, you'll notice that there's a texture with the Ama print all throughout the top of the lid and on the bottom half of the box. Now this is a promo pair, but the size tag reads Air Jordan 5 Retro OG SP white velvet or burgundy, size 13, just for me. And these recently came out a couple days ago, so I'm sure a lot of people are either waiting for them to come in the mail, just got their pairs, or still in the fence deciding if they want to grab them or not. Now lifting off the lid of the box right here, you'll notice that there is a big image on the inside. This is a part of the Black Collective and the photography and promo that they had did, which you see some of the images here from the website, which we'll get into in a second. And I also did get a special note inside this package with some appreciation from Ama, and again, I appreciate you guys as well. Thank you for these. This is definitely a very beautiful shoe. Now looking at the paper right here, you're gonna notice that there is a lot of differences on this compared to normal paper. But before we go through all the details of the paper, let's go ahead and get the shoes out of here. So each shoe is individually wrapped, as you can see right here. These are covered in white paper, and then you got the shoe. Oh, you got the shoe. Now looking at the paper right here, you're gonna see that it looks like there's a ton of text and a lot going on, but actually it's the same thing printed twice. It reads Maniere, June 19th for Juneteenth 2025. You have places like Atlanta, Harlem, Houston, Chicago, London, and DC. Again, I wish Portland was on there. You know, always trying to represent for the hometown. And just below that, it reads, this collection embodies a commitment to product inspired by the greatest player ever, similar to stuff like how we saw on the Air Jordan 11s, the tagging right there. And just below that has a list of 5 different lines. And the first one reads, do good. Second one says, human rights overall. Third, you see us and we see you. Fourth, we need access to a higher standard. Fifth, we have the right to express ourselves freely. And to me, these are very, very important lines to represent our Black community especially. So to see this a part of the Black Collective, it definitely makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, and if you didn't know by now, my name is DJ, and this is the DNA show. So now before we get into breaking down this entire shoe and the cool little intricate details that it has, you know we got to talk about the history first. Back in 2021, we saw the Ama 3 hit the streets, and it shook up the game. When it talk about collaborations, Jordan 3 in particular, new collaborations coming on the scene, because we had a huge run with Travis Scott and Off-White and different things like that. And now we saw Ama coming in there and kind of wrecking things a little bit, because sometimes you see those one-off collaborations, you see a couple different shoes and they're like, okay, they were cool, they come and they go. But for some reason, everybody had their eyes on the Ama 3s in a completely different lens. That shoe eventually was sneaker of the year for a lot of people in 2021. And since then, there have been a lot of hype, demand, and overall appreciation for the quality, the materials, and the collaboration and colorways, and all the other iterations of Jordan over the past essentially 5 years. So as you saw from those images, I'm sure you guys are already going past memory lane or thinking shoes that you want to add to your collection or stuff that you might have got rid of, whatever it may be. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that Ama has definitely done a really good job when it comes to their collaborations and making an impact on the sneaker culture. And with all those releases, we have also seen the Air Jordan 5 in the Dawn and the Dusk colorway. So now that you guys know a little bit on how we got to this point, let's go ahead and break down all the details. Looking at the outsole of the shoe, you're going to notice that you have your classic Air Jordan 5 bottom, but there is a little bit of a twist. So instead of that fully translucent icy blue, you're going to have that more milky translucent on the front end, on the back end, and you're going to have that same herringbone traction pattern. And then another great hit on this shoe, with the collaborations, you typically get what? The Nike Air on the back end, so that means you get Nike on the bottom instead of the Jordan branding, which is a piece that I always love. And then looking at the ball of the foot, you'll notice that there's 2 different logos here. So you have the Ama on the right side and the Jumpman logo on the left. But this is always one cool detail that a lot of people don't really realize. If you look really, really close, whenever they do a special collaboration or a different switch on the ball of the foot from the Jumpman, they always add an etched out translucent Jumpman within that. So if you look very, very closely, you'll notice the details of the Jumpman also inside of the sneaker as well. This happens on a lot of sneakers. It's just a very, very subtle thing that some people may not realize. Now for this shoe on the left foot, they didn't etch it out because what? They have the Jumpman already stamped on the outsole. Hey, just wanted to let you guys know real quick, we're getting really close to 400,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We got a big giveaway coming, so stay tuned for that. Let's get back to the video. Now finishing off the bottom of the shoe, you'll notice you got that burgundy on the front end of the toe with the rubber, and then you'll see the top half of the rubber on the toe is going to be all white with the white stitch. Now going to the midsole right here, going to be the same thing. It says burgundy. To me, it looks brown. Either way, you let me know what color you think it is. At the end of the day, it looks pretty pretty good. So you gotta have that classic traditional Air Jordan 5 color pattern, or whatever you'd like to call it. You got the shark teeth on the front end, and then the two-tone on the back end, the darker brown or burgundy, and then the lighter color here on the majority of the midsole. Now on the back end right here, you're gonna notice you have your classic Air Jordan 5 exposed air unit right here. It looks like more of a sail color compared to a pure white, but again, it might just be the lighting in here. I don't know, it might actually be pure white. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Today's partner is Sneaker Throne. They have multiple options when it comes to durable and high quality display cases. One of my personal favorites is the drop side display case. I'm a size 13 and I can easily fit my shoes inside of here, and I have hundreds of these stacked throughout my rooms to display my sneakers. When it comes to the cases in particular, you have 4 different color options: clear, black, white, and red. So if you're looking at grabbing one of these for yourself or for someone else, make sure you guys check out sneakerthrone.com, and don't forget to use the discount code DNA Show at checkout for 10% off for all your orders. Now it's time to talk about the upper of this shoe, because honestly, bruh, they did a really good job on these. First thing that I thought about when I saw this shoe was, oh, Khaled 5s. They did it just like that, how they got rid of the puff on the ankle. But honestly, they did it a little bit different. Remember on the Khaled 5s, there was actually a stitched line that goes here to resemble the puff, but it wasn't actually there, and it was still smooth and flat like this, giving that more narrow aerodynamic look. Well, notice actually doesn't have that hit on the side of the shoe. Now, when I feel this leather, honestly, bruh, again, we talk about quality, we talk about materials, details, all those different elements. They have come correct yet again. I feel like what Ahmad collaboration is bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, some might be better than others or whatever, but at the end of the day, there are a lot more pairs that are superior from the Ahmad collection compared to general releases, other collabs, whatever it may be. Now, when it comes to the cut and shape, this is going to be standard to your classic OG Air Jordan 5 style. Of one shoe that has stood out tremendously for a lot of people has been the Grape 5. So I would say similar to that on the toe box. They may have changed it a little bit on how narrow it is and a little bit sleek right here, but overall, great shape on the shoe. Now, looking at the center of the tongue right here, you're gonna notice you have these black flat laces. They almost feel like they're wax laces a little bit, but they're not too waxy in that sense. And when it comes to the laces in particular, each set of laces is spun from cotton sourced through C2 Shirt Black Collective, the first black owned vertically integrated supply chain in the United States. They work directly with black farmers and manufacturers. They reclaim agency and restore value to a system long built on black labor. And by doing this, they're able to check so many boxes by fueling the black economy, promoting the black economy, and breaking down barriers that have been up for a very long time. So when you see these black laces or cell laces in these Air Jordan 5s, now you know that there's a lot more behind it simply than just tying your shoes. Now, speaking behind that, you're gonna notice that you have that violet or the brown, whatever color you like to call it. You have that same thing here with the mesh on the bottom half and on the top half of the tongue. And then that goes into your 3M reflective tongue with the same color on the Jumpman there. But if you look behind the laces in the center of the tongue, you'll notice that you have the classic Air Jordan 5 net, the translucent with the semi-milky look to it, because that's kind of matching with the outsole. But if you look really close, just like the box, you got the same Ahmad print all throughout that on the tongue and the side panels here on the outside and the inside of the foot. Again, another cool detail to the shoe. You got your classic Air Jordan 5, I always like to call it the Binky, and this is going to be in the same semi-translucent milky color as well with the Nike branding on the side. Now, looking inside the collar right here, you're going to notice that you have your diamond stitch all throughout with that satin finish. Again, very similar to the Air Jordan 4s, the Jordan 3s, different models that we have seen from the past. And then looking at the back end of the tongue, you're going to notice you have that all over Ahmad print as well, and that's going to be the same thing on the sock liner, which we'll get into it in a second. And then behind the tongue, typically it just says Air Jordan right there. They actually have Michael Jordan's signature on the patch this time, which is another switch up. And then on the left foot, you'll notice on the patch right here, it says Ahmad Maniere. Now, looking at the insoles, you're gonna notice you got that polyurethane material that everybody loves. But going back to the sock liner, like we talked about the details matching the back end of the tongue, if you notice, they actually stitched the Nike Air branding in there compared to printing it, which means it's gonna last basically forever. I don't know how you're gonna shred that apart. So that's another great detail and another expense for the brand when it comes to creating the shoe. Now, continuing on with stitching and expenses, I love how they went about this as well. They did a great raised stitch right here with the Nike Air branding on the back end on the heel, and the same thing here with the 23 on the side on the heel counter. This 23, I feel like, should be on damn near every Jordan 5. I know not every single single one, but it just always looks so good, and I love when they add that hit. So those are my thoughts and impression of the new AMA 5. We also know that the Air Max 95 and the Air Force One released as well with this collection, and I think they might have some more stuff coming. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, they did a great job on this project. And again, I appreciate you, AMA, for sending me these as well. Let me know what you guys think about these down below in the comment section. Did you add these to your collection? Do you want to add them to your collection? Do you not like them at all? If you don't like them, let me know why. Explain. I hate when people just say those are trash. Okay, why are they trash? Like, give me a little bit of something to work with here, people. All right, you guys, we're getting very close to 400,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys hit that sub button because I cannot wait to do this giveaway.
I would never let you down, it's in my DNA. The only choice I like to make, what I'ma wear today. I would never let you down, it's in my DNA. The only choice I like to make, what